Hello, my name is Singhal. I'm a circuit court judge in Broward County, Florida, and I would like to give you a brief overview of compliance dockets as related to domestic violence injunctions in Florida. Domestic violence injunctions are serious matters which affect an individual's safety and peace of mind. Often, the underlying issues result in the court ordering programs or conditions with which the respondent must comply during the term of the injunction. Monitoring and court enforcement of compliance with the terms of injunctions is crucial for injunctions to provide protection to domestic violence victims and their children. Fortunately, the Florida legislature, through Florida Statute Section 741.31, has given judges and court personnel guidance in how to deal with injunction conditions, follow-up, compliance, and violations. This statute outlines the roles of the court, the clerk, and court staff in following up on injunction compliance issues. Initially, the judge must take care to issue an injunction order with sufficient specificity to ensure the respondent understands his or her obligations. And court staff can track and monitor for compliance. Examples of items to be included in the order are 1. Specific provisions allowing or prohibiting contact with the petitioner. 2. Where children are involved, dates, times, and locations for visitation and custody exchange. 3. The date or time frame for a respondent to leave the shared dwelling, including specific property such as clothing to be removed, as well as surrender of all keys and garage door openers. 4. Directions relating to the timing, delivery, and amount of any support payments. And 5. Specific compliance requirements, including time frames and documentation for firearm and ammunition surrender, enrollment in and completion of a batterer's intervention program, and substance abuse and mental health assessment and treatment. In many jurisdictions, compliance review hearings are set at the same time final injunction orders are issued. The court schedules a compliance hearing for a future date at which time the respondent must appear with documentation proving compliance. If the respondent can file proof of compliance prior to the hearing, the respondent may be excused. Otherwise, the hearing is part of a compliance docket. The court may request documentation of compliance with any provisions of the final injunction order. The case manager assists the court by ensuring respondents have the information needed to comply with court orders, reviewing the case file for appropriate compliance documentation, and assisting the court in preparing any orders, such as an order to show cause in the case of noncompliance. Certain requirements in the final injunction order must be reviewed more quickly than others and typically are monitored prior to a compliance docket. These include surrender of firearms and ammunition and enrollment in court-ordered counseling. If, for example, compliance dockets are held every 30 days, but a firearm surrender is due 15 days before the next compliance hearing, the case manager must review the file for compliance and act in accordance with the procedures of the specific circuit. Finally, the clerk of the circuit court is directed by Florida Statute Section 741.31 to assist petitioners in preparation of an affidavit where a violation without arrest has occurred. This affidavit must be forwarded to the appropriate law enforcement agency or state attorney's office. Whether or not there is a criminal prosecution, the court must order the respondent to attend a batterer's intervention program if it finds a willful violation of a domestic violence injunction, unless the court makes written findings stating why such a program would be inappropriate.